Okay, take three. This is the third time of me recording this. So, this is just to really quick touch on some of what was said during last night's race in the chat. Now that I've had a chance to kind of reminisce about it, think about it a little bit, and just go from there. Before anyone asks anything, no action is being taken against anyone involved, except for Derek Hamill, but that is more at his own discretion. He is going to sit out the next PowerAde race at Atlanta, but that is more at his own discretion. He seemed kind of adamant about me taking action, and he had been for a while whenever he would do something. And I didn't want to because I felt like he already knew what he had done and then some. So I saw no reason to, but at this point it's like, you know what? It seems like it's what he wants almost at this point. And the way that I work, I try and keep things positive. And yeah, at this point I just feel like that might clear the air, to be honest. So that's the only reason that's happening. But anyways, now that I've actually had 3 takes to try and see how I can actually say this, hopefully I can get it right this time. So, what this is more touching on is some of what people said in the chat, which more pertain to someone saying like there should be maybe rules established, and then also someone also said that if I keep suspending and banning people for the types of reasons that I am, then, well, people are going to stop watching me. Which I will admit, yes, maybe I have been more on the strict side, and heck, there was a time that I didn't even allow any form of cussing in the chat, otherwise I would do something. But I've gotten a little more lenient in that regard. But I'm just going to go ahead and kind of explain just kind of what I hope. I wouldn't quite say expect, but hope, at least, whenever I do a race or a stream of any sort for that matter. Essentially what it boils down to is this. I do races for simply having fun. Not just for myself, but for everyone involved. Because the way that I see it, doing NR offline series should be about signing up and then just seeing how your driver does. You might win a bunch of races, you might finish last in a bunch of races, but that's just part of the unpredictability of it. Why did I say unpredictability? That was weird. The unpredictability of it, which I think is part of the fun. You never know what you're going to get. It's like that line from Forrest Gump, life is like a box of chocolates, you never know what you're going to get. Well, kind of the same with NR series. NR offline series is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And that's the fun of it in my book. You never know. Anything can happen. You just never know. So, if you're not doing well in a series, it's okay to get a little bummed out about it, or just be like, oh man, but not get in a full-blown realm of, well, this sucks, everything sucks. That gets a little excessive in my book. Again, I'm not gonna like, unless it gets ridiculous, like you start saying, F this sucks, this is rigged, whatever, then that gets into the realm of maybe I'll do something. But, essentially, the reason for that would be, if you're not having fun, what's the point? That's how I see that. Again, I'm getting more lenient, but that's just how I see it, at least in that regard. In regard to, like, chats, like the live chat during streams, this especially pertains to what went down last night. Especially the fact that it was a support race showing support for someone who had gone through some absolutely terrible things, like things that I can't even talk about that level, and it's absolutely horrid what they went through. So I did that race to show support, and some words were exchanged between a couple pairs of people, and then they started going at it, and it just turned into an all-out chat brawl, almost. You could call it that. So I was doing my best to just, um, I mean, I don't want that type of stuff because that takes my attention away from the races, which makes it not nearly as enjoyable for myself or for other people watching. It gets old, or any other kind of negativity in the chat. Here's my kind of These are the kind of unwritten rules that I'm about to say. They're not really written rules, and they're not really rules in general, but they're just kind of things that I hope people keep in mind whenever they do come by, because we're all trying to have fun here. If you come by and you're in like you're feeling down, you're in a bit of a bad mood. I mean, that's perfectly normal. We're all human beings after all. And say you come by and you're hoping that maybe it'll help pick you up a bit. Like maybe you come by and you see that you're doing well, or you're hoping that you're doing well, and then maybe that'll help pick you up a bit. Now, what I'm just going to say here is just a total example. This has never happened that I can remember. This is just a total example that I'm just giving out here, just for the sake of example. Let's say that you come by, you're in a bit of a bad mood, and you see that you're not doing well. If you come by and you comment, say, well, I'm in a bad mood, and I was hoping that I was doing well, and that would help pick me up, but I see that I'm doing terrible, so this sucks, goodbye. If you say, again, that's just an example that never happened that I can remember, but that's just an example. But if you come by saying stuff like that, or you just say, I'm in a bad mood, don't ask me why, or stuff like that, that just kind of brings the general atmosphere down. And again, back to the point of we're trying to have a good time and all, that just brings things down, you know? So I'd just rather that type of stuff not happen, or whenever a fight breaks out. I mean, if it's going to get to that point, at the very, very, very least, if you could take it somewhere else, take it into like a private message or something. I'd rather that not go down in a public chat where last night, in the case that 20 plus people can see what all is going down. I'd rather that not be the case. I mean, we all have emotions. We're all human beings after all, but there's some times that just like getting angry in general and just bringing the general atmosphere down or the general mood down, just kind of, I don't like it. Because I'm trying to have fun and I'm trying to make it enjoyable for everyone else, and that just hurts. That just hurts me trying to do that. That's always my hope, at least. So, I hope that sheds some light. I feel like there was something else that I was about to say there that I can't remember. Again, I'm not necessarily going to ban or suspend anyone for that anymore. There may have been a time that I would have. But I'm not necessarily going to ban or suspend someone from the series itself for that, unless it maybe gets into the realm of they're threatening in some regard, or they're calling the series rigged, that they're not doing well, or they're just all around really, really, really getting super pissed that they're not doing well, which in my book is like, oh, what's the point? That is when I get into that realm. Again, I may have been a little kick happy at one point, trigger happy as it were. I'm trying my best to alleviate that. But that's just kind of the general consensus for me. They're not necessarily written rules, but they are just kind of hopes that I have whenever I do a stream. Just being positive, having fun. That's the whole reason. And if the mood's just gonna be solemn and negative and angry, then what's the point? You know, maybe I'm saying some kind of hypocritical things, but that's just what I hope, at least. Those are my hopes. I hope this shed some light. If you have any other questions about something, feel free to ask. But I'm trying to just keep things positive, keep this little mini community within a community positive. And yeah. So just some things to keep in mind. Not necessarily mad at anyone here. Just some things for you to keep in mind. You know, just general common sense things whenever you come by a stream or whatever. So yeah. Anyways, I hope that shed some light. Thank you for watching this much longer video than I meant for it to be. But, yeah. So, thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you at the next race, and then hopefully at tonight's stream, which, oh boy, you're going to be in for a good one. Oh man, at least as of when this is being recorded. If you're watching this after February 12th, then it's already happened. You can go back and watch it probably. So, thank you for your time. Hope this shed some light. All is good. Just, I think the motto pretty much for me is, keep the NR community positive. That's kind of my motto. And whenever people kind of hurt that motto, that's when you see me react the way that I do. There you go. Hope that helps. Thank you, everyone, and take care of yourselves. Have a good day. Take care, and bye for now.